Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about how energy mastery changed the tank sustain matches to becoming more burst and glass cannon 30 to 40 seconds matches. And as you can see on the screen, I have a double tank on the screen that I use currently. And I also got energy mastery, and I will show you guys later in this video as well about the reports and stuff, what I'm trying to say with this, video. Because when people think about having a two tanks in the front line, you want to sustain and you want to basically try to time out the enemy team or defend better, right? That's why you have two tanks in your team. And of course, you have one support to support all of them, and Fufei, in my opinion, being the best support in the game to support these kind of matches. And you have Himiko, and I know Loki got an update and basically a huge buff recently, and those who have Loki, they're smiling all the way, right? Because it's super OP. I still think that Himiko and Loki are very similar power, right? Although I know Loki is an Chaos Immortal and have more, buff specialization and stuff like that, right? I think Himiko can definitely keep up, and you don't have to change Immortal if you don't have Loki. Don't mind that, you can use, Himiko still, and I will show you guys later in this video with the reports as well. But back to the sustain and tank modules, I think the game needs to look into the, why the tank modules are doing way better than, for example, the standard formation with one attack frontline, one tank, one healer, and or one support, or one archers, and the mage. That is like the standard formation, and the game should look into this because if a tank mod can do this kind of stuff, everybody is going to use this kind of formation, right? So that being said, let's take a look at some of the reports and see what I mean so I can explain a little bit further with the visual, explanation as well. So now we are in the game. I just want to show you guys some reports and talk about the thing that I mentioned earlier in this video about the energy mastery changing the double tank matches to become more glass cannon and mega burst matches. And here I had a little fight with 136. Shout out to them as well. And you can see that, although I'm winning, right? And you can see the majority of the fights that I did, although he didn't have, full HP here, but you can see the timer. That's what I want to show you guys. This is one of the longest time, like the battle time I had during the whole fighting session, right? And 56 seconds, although I lost here, right? Against like a superpower, very OP guy, captain, right? 30 seconds, right? Now you know what I'm trying to say. And of course, he's using energy mastery and infinite firepower, right? So that is something that we're going to see more and more often. People going for the right skills. You can see here, 52 seconds. This is one of the longest fight I had. You can see here, 27 seconds. And you can see Captain versus Go here. Very similar match as what I have, 47 seconds. You rarely see battles over like a minute now. Like, it's almost impossible, right? And you can see here where I defended, for example, Kaiti, right? He has a holy Loki, which Loki is very good right now, and he also have energy mastery. And you can see here 25 seconds. And when I get beat, right? Also 54 seconds. So it's about that kind of range, right? It's gonna be averaging 30 seconds, 35 seconds every single report right now. There are some that can go to 1 minute, but with the energy mastery, it's quite impossible. And look at here, even though I lost, I still did 64 million damage, while he did only 55, but he has the healing, right? The healing is very OP right now if you don't have the wound. as well. And you can see a little bit here that the timer here is 32 seconds, and also you can see it here 25 seconds. This is like, to me, is way too difficult to create a mod better than what it is right now, right? If you want to go with Alex, you want to go with Hannibal, you want to go with Poseidon and these kind of immortals, you really need like high end teams, right? And it's basically the game went from having a sustained meta like a couple of months ago until Energy Mastery was released, and then now this is becoming a meta, right? And you can see here as well, let's go 33 seconds. You can see Kaiti here on Skull, 33 seconds, and here as well, 44 seconds. So you're barely gonna see anything above 1 minute, right? If you do, you're pretty much really lucky about it. And even here, Captain Spunky, he doesn't even have like a fully built, double tank like me and Skull, right? In the server, and he's still doing more damage. And 55 seconds here as well. You can see here Captain versus Skull, 34 seconds, and you see how much damage people are doing within very short amount of time, right? Which you know what the game is doing, and they're promoting the burst. And I believe the next time IK is going to release a new, legendary skill, right? We're probably going to be seeing more sustainability. This is like all predictions, these assumptions, this is what, logically for me, thinking like what they're going to release next, because now we have like a sustained meta becoming a burst meta, and then we're going to need sustain again to counter the burst, like the damage meta, right? So this is how I see it, and just a little bit more take a look at more reports. So let's see that. Let's take a look at this one. 35 seconds, 35 seconds, and 36 seconds. So now you see like the pattern, right? Even let's say even I lost, right? You can say even I lost here is 21 seconds. It's basically the game has kind of focusing on who can get out the skill first. The person who can get out the skill first will most likely win, right? That's basically becoming like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is my skills. I've been working on these skills for a while, and it's coming together. And you can see some, some results already. And I do kind of like, what I'm trying to do, but also a lot of people have been trying to, transfer to or transition to something like a double tank with Bjorn as well. So you see more and more people have the same skill set as as me and the others. So I'm not trying to take credit for anything, but it's just like seeing the same match over and over. So the fun is a little bit, went out of it a little bit. So I'm trying to do something else and try to mix up a little bit more, right? You can see here as well, 79 seconds. You can see Demon Ambush. You can see Infinite Firepower. And even though if you have, for example, Tutankhamun, which is really, really strong frontline, right? You're still going to lose. Like, you basically do nothing, right? Everything will come from Himiko. That's how this, current meta has become. If you have like a one main, mage carry backline, you're gonna see a lot of this stuff, right? See here he used the standard OG meta with the sustainability and healing is still very good, right? And I believe this is one of the better counters to today's meta. It just depends if Poseidon can do enough damage because you have sustainability with the backline with a lot of healing, which in my opinion is really really OP. I like the healing a lot. I like this March a lot, and it's still very OP, right? And you have some more reports where we lost, but we still did pretty good. But you can see here, all the reports I've shown so far in this video has basically been less than 1 minute. That's basically what I want to address to a lot of people, and possibly IK if you're watching this. I just want to tell that we need more sustainable matches. We need tanks to be tanks, and not you don't need tanks to be basically, trying to make everything glass cannon so we can get like less than 1 minute per battle, right? Maybe this is just because of kind of like people who spends a little bit on the money or want to get stuff. Maybe only for these people, right? Like have legendary skills that can get reports less than 1 minute. But I believe on average, I think most of the battles are around 35, 40 seconds, or even 30 seconds, and sometimes it goes down to 20 seconds. Basically, that's 2 or 3 ultimate, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to address with this, report. You can see here, lady, 46 seconds, and it just baffled me a little bit because, yeah, when you think about like I said earlier in this video, when you think about having a double tank mod, you want to have like a tanky mod, sustainable mod that you can sustain throughout the fight longer, protect your back line. But nowadays, basically the double tanks has become more or less, glass cannon burst mods that nuke the enemy team out of the battle, right? That's basically what have become, and I think IK should know this, and I think they know this, so we will see what they're gonna release next patch for legendary skills, or maybe in another 2 patches. I don't know when they're gonna come, but I'm assuming next legendary skill is probably gonna be a sustainable a tank. Maybe not like life protections, maybe more for like a tank front line where you can sustain a bit longer. But we will see how it goes. And I'm really excited to see how the game will evolve to in the next couple of patches, which is gonna be like in 2, 3, like every month. But I'm assuming like you need like 2, 3 patches before we can see a huge change from the current meta. So yeah, that's basically it. That's what I want to talk about a little bit. I know I showed you guys basically trying to address to a lot of people that I believe personally we need some change with the how the game works currently. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Thanks you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.